Hey, it's Amanda here, Creative Gardener. So I thought I would leave the studio, even though I've got a few bits and pieces that I need to do. And there's some things, well, not some things that have been bugging me, but I've been finding, let's see if I can, these pieces of pottery when I'm digging up around the garden. And initially it was just like, oh, you know, who's broken up these terracotta pots and thrown them in the garden? Who would do that? But found out that it wasn't. It's, you know, obviously not obviously. I know that's one of my buzzwords. I don't know why I keep saying it. But this was, we're sitting on what was a plantation. I'm not sure how many hundreds of acres it is, but we sit on an acre and a half, this particular, with the house and the organic farm back there. But in the section that we're in, so obviously there you go again, the monkey pots and, you know, pots were made to store things in. In terms of the monkey pots, I will leave a link, but it kept, you know, the water cool. They're not glazed pots. And when Africans were brought here, they were skilled men and women, and so, you know, they had weaving skills. I mean, this is just some of the skills which interests me because of the creative side that I'm working with. So the weaving, the pottery, the art, and the crafts that I feel drawn to. So as I was digging, I'm digging holes to put some of the plants here that I've been growing that kind of need to go out. So that's the creative gardener side in me that really needs to get on and do those things. But the artist in me is just like, I've been finding all these fragments of pottery, and they tell a story, and I'm curious to find out what that story is and the different layers of the story, and whether I will be able to tell some of the story through the artwork that I then go on to do with the pottery bits, because I'm just feeling there's something creative that can come out of these things that I'm finding. So we're going to go on a journey into the garden where you're coming with me to find, I'm going to collect as much as I can, because as I said, as I'd been digging, I had been just leaving them where they were so that I can go and collect them, and I just need them in one place now. So that's one of the jobs the creative gardener side in me needs to do. So I'm going to do that and then get back to some creative work. So come on, let's go. Cole was just arguing with me just moments ago because he wants to go past there. This is just kind of enclosure that I've created so that the young plants that I've got, he doesn't damage them. What he's been doing, because he's still a puppy, what he's been doing is, you know, like he jumps all over them and then he's weeing and doing what dogs do. And so I wanted to make sure that I give the young plants as much as a head start as possible. And he was just moaning earlier because I think he wants, it's too early to go out for a walk because it was quite warm earlier. But in about an hour or so he'll be going out for his walk. So let's get going. I've got my little bucket. I use this for my paper clay making as well. So let's go. So I do feel a bit sorry for him sometimes. Well, just a bit guilty because I'm now going in my element, and all he wants to do is he's not amused. All he wants to do is wander around sniffing, and but because we don't have a fence, it is, now that he's bigger, it's impossible. Anyway, so let's just go over and see what we can find as we go along. So I mean, as I said, you know, you can see that there are quite a few bits of the clay pottery that I can find. I can see quite a bit along here. I haven't even dug these ones up, but as it's rained, it's even the smaller bits, as it's rained, it's brought a lot of things up, and along there as well. And there are spots over there that I have, I was digging up the cassava. I've planted some more since, and found a lot. And anywhere that I've dug holes, I've been finding them. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll come back and just show you what I've collected. Oh, I'm going to need to put this in the shade. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, see, it's everywhere. So it's like, after I found more than, you know, I was finding quite a few, and I was just like, no, there isn't anybody that would have broken these up and scattered them on the land. It had to be that, you know, they were, well, I've got no idea, but in some way they've started to turn up. All right, so I'm going to go for now and collect all the ones that I can collect. I might just be able to just do this particular bed. There's 3 sections, so I might just only be able to do this section, depending on how many there are, and I'll see how I get on. But then at least that need to get out here, I mean, I love being out here, but I've got so many things in the studio to get on with. So yeah, let me get on now. Okay. So this is what I managed to collect so far from the 3 sections, and you've got you know, some of the pieces with this kind of black thing going through them. Some of them have got curved edges. You know, I guess, I mean, you don't really see, do you really see that many brick tiles like this? Again, here's one with colour going through it. So could it be, you know, black and red clay and brown clay? I don't know. That's obviously a tile. Okay. Yeah, so bits and pieces, some thicker bits with the black bit going through. And then I found this. It was just sitting there on the ground. So I'm not sure. It'd be interesting if I could find some other pieces with the pattern on and kind of get a handle as to what it might be. It could just be, you know, some form of sculpture that was, who knows. I'll have to just do some more research, go to the library or so. This, I think, is again just another piece of tile, but when you look at it closely, let's see if we can get, you can see the cracks in the top, which, you know, whether they glazed any, whether they were able to glaze the pots that they created, I'm not sure. And then I found this. You find this a lot. I don't know whether it's a coral or whatever it is, but I wanted to clean it up because I really like the shape. We look at the shape, and then if you imagine it's all nice and cleaned, and it's quite light, and you can create a necklace maybe using some wire. Obviously it's you know, bits of it are quite sharp. So I'll have to see how it goes, but I really like it. I like the I just like the way it looks. It's not usually, this is not usually my kind of thing, but you find these pieces of rock or coral, I'm not sure, but you find these all over. And look, there's a bigger piece here. Must be coral, I'm not sure. I don't know. I've never seen coral in life, but if you look. So there's quite a few of these around. Oh look, there's another piece just sitting there. It's a dog making so much noise for. Another piece sitting there. And where we've got a well here, so just there. So whether it goes down to sea level, apparently a lot of them do go like 100 feet. And we're sitting in like a basin. So who knows? And whether as it was being dug, you know, you got some of the coral come up as well. I don't know. Again, that's some research that I'm going to try and do. But yeah, I just find it really interesting. And there's still quite a bit of this hanging around the place, but I'm going to collect it, put it on, you know, as I said, that's the tile. Going to collect it, put it in one place. The other thing I need to do is move some of the rocks. Now we've got some really large rocks hanging around, and then I want to move them in a different place in the garden around the front to kind of create a like a rockery kind of area with some plants. I've got some I haven't got any around here, but the dinner plate plants. So I'm going to kind of use them in a way that you can nestle some of the plants in them in some soil, because they're quite shallow rooted, and create, like, you know, some areas where just create some areas and get rid of some of the rocks. So if you can see over there, there's loads of rocks just kind of sitting around that came initially, just come out again, initially came out of when this was all bulldozed and the areas, the roads created. A lot of these rocks came from there, and I've tried to kind of, you know, utilize them, but now I'm going to create a different feel with them anyway, but that's for another time. And as I said, you know, they're just all hanging around, and I need to do something with them anyway. So that's for today. I've got some other things I want to do out here and show you, but that's for another time. So I will see you another time. See you soon.